The courtroom doors swing shut with a heavy thud, sealing Pam Bondi inside a room that crackles with tension. She stands at the defendant's table, her dark blazer sharp against the muted chaos around her, hands steady as she flips open a worn leather folder. The gallery buzzes, lawyers, clerks, a handful of wide-eyed spectators crammed onto wooden benches, their whispers a low hum beneath the fluorescent lights. The air tastes stale, thick with the scent of old paper and polished oak, the kind of place where fates pivot on a single word. Judge Hayes looms behind the bench, his black robe swallowing the light, his gavel resting like a loaded gun. Beside him, Judge Ellison sits, her presence a quiet storm, sharp eyes, folded hands, a mystery wrapped in judicial calm. Across the room, Officer Daniel Rivera adjusts his crisp gray uniform, his middle-aged frame rigid with the confidence of a man who's never had to explain himself. Until now. Pam doesn't waste a second. She turns to Hayes, her voice slicing through the room like a razor. "Your Honor, the officer who filed this violation is here. I'd like to cross-examine him." The gallery gasps, a ripple of surprise cutting through the murmurs. Hayes blinks, caught off guard, but recovers fast, his fingers brushing the gavel. "Very well, Miss Bondi. Officer Rivera, take the stand." Rivera strides forward, his boots clicking against the floor, a faint smirk tugging at his lips as he swears in and sits. Pam steps toward him, slow and deliberate, her heels a steady drumbeat in the silence. She doesn't look at her notes. She doesn't need to. "Officer Rivera, you issued this fine, correct?" He nods, voice gruff. "Yes, ma'am." "And what exactly did you see that justified it?" Rivera exhales, leaning back like the answer's a formality. "The property violated Municipal Code 47B. It's clear as day. I saw it, I documented it, I fined it." Pam tilts her head, a small, dangerous smile flickering across her face. "Documented it how?" He shifts, just slightly. "I wrote the citation." "No photos?" A pause. "No, ma'am." "No witness statements?" Another beat. "Didn't need 'em." The room feels tighter, the air thinning as Pam's smile sharpens. "So, let me get this straight. You saw something, whatever it was, decided it broke the code, and slapped a fine on it. No evidence? No proof? Just your word?" Rivera's jaw tightens, his confidence cracking at the edges. "I've been doing this 20 years. I know a violation when I see one." Pam turns away from him, her gaze sweeping the gallery, letting the weight of his words sink in. She pivots back to Hayes, her voice calm but lethal. "Your Honor, we're standing here with nothing. No photos, no statements, not even a sketch on a napkin. Just one man's gut feeling dressed up as law. I'm curious. Does this court really think that's enough?" Hayes leans forward, his fingers drumming once against the bench, a tick he can't hide. "Miss Bondi, the officer's experience carries weight. The fine stands." Pam doesn't blink. She reaches into her folder, pulling out a single sheet, holding it up like a flag. "Experience is great, Your Honor, but it's not evidence. Let's talk Thompson versus City of Daytona. Same statute, same vague wording, same heavy-handed enforcement. The appellate court didn't just question it, they gutted it, said it's unenforceable, lacks notice, fails every legal test. So I'm wondering, how does this fine stand when a higher court's already torched the ground it's built on?" The gallery erupts into whispers, heads snapping toward Hayes. Rivera shifts again, his uniform suddenly too tight. The county prosecutor, a wiry man with a pinched face, jumps in, his voice high and desperate. "Your Honor, this is irrelevant. That case—" Pam cuts him off, spinning toward him so fast he flinches. Irrelevant. Counselor, if Thompson doesn't apply, give me something that does. Show me one shred of law that says this fine holds water. I'll wait. He doesn't answer. He can't. His mouth opens, then shuts, his papers rustling uselessly. Pam turns back to Hayes, her voice dropping, deliberate, every word a hammer strike. No response, Your Honor, because there isn't one. This isn't a fine, it's a guess. And if this court lets it stand, you're not just fining my client. You're handing every officer a blank check to fine whoever they want, whenever they want, no proof required. Imagine that. A business shut down over a hunch, a family bankrupted because someone in a uniform felt like it. That's not law, that's chaos. The room goes dead silent, the weight of her words pressing down like gravity. Hayes's face stays blank, but his eyes darken, calculating. He's cornered, and he knows it. Ellison shifts for the first time, her voice low, cutting through like a whisper in a storm. You're saying this risks judicial integrity? Pam nods, locking eyes with her. More than that. It risks everything. If we trade evidence for assertions, we're not a court anymore, we're a rubber stamp. Hayes's fingers curl into a fist, then relax, his voice tight when he speaks. This court has discretion, Miss Bondi. The violation was observed. Observed? Pam's tone sharpens, a blade unsheathed. By who? Rivera, who didn't bother with a single photo? Discretion's one thing, Your Honor, but this isn't discretion. It's a free pass. And if you let it slide, what's next? Fines raining down on anyone an officer doesn't like? No proof? No appeal? Just trust me? That's not justice. It's a power grab. The gallery buzzes louder now. A few gasps, a few nods. The prosecutor tries again, his voice thinner. Your Honor, the code. Hayes silences him with a glare, then leans back, exhaling hard. He's stalling, Pam thinks, scrambling for a lifeline. She doesn't give him one. She steps closer to the bench, her voice rising, clear and unyielding. Let's cut through the noise. Thompson says this statute's a mess, vague, unenforceable, a legal ghost. Rivera says he saw something, but he's got nothing to show for it. So what are we left with? A fine built on sand, upheld by a court that's supposed to stand for rock. If this holds, you're not just ruling against my client. You're rewriting the rules for everyone out there. She gestures to the gallery, her arms sweeping wide. Every business owner, every homeowner, every person who thinks the law protects them. You're telling them it doesn't. The room feels like it's teetering on a knife's edge. Hayes's knuckles whiten against the bench, his silence deafening. The prosecutor shifts, sweating now, his tie a noose. Ellison watches, her eyes flicking to Pam, then Hayes, then back. A chess player reading the board. Pam doesn't relent. Your Honor, you've got a choice. Stick to the law, real law, with evidence and precedent, or let this slide and open a door you can't close. What's it gonna be? Hayes stares at her, his face a mask, but his eyes betray him. Fury, frustration, a flicker of doubt. He taps the gavel once, twice, then speaks, his voice stiff, like it's being dragged out of him. This court finds the fine lacks sufficient evidentiary support. It's overturned. The gallery explodes, murmurs, gasps, a few claps cut short by Hayes's glare. Pam doesn't smile, doesn't gloat. She gives a slow nod, gathers her papers, and tucks them into her folder with the precision of a surgeon. Hayes slams the gavel harder this time. Court adjourned. She turns to leave, her heels clicking against the floor, but Hayes's voice stops her cold. "Miss Bondi," she pauses, glancing back. His eyes bore into hers, hard and unyielding. "I underestimated you." Pam's lips curve faintly, not a smirk, just a knowing look. "Happens a lot." She walks out, the marble hallway stretching before her, cool and echoing. The victory hums in her veins, but it's not simple. She'd walked in expecting a fight, not a war that'd shake the room to its bones. She'd turned a routine fine into a reckoning, and she knows it won't fade quietly. Halfway down the hall, a voice cuts through. "Miss Bondi, wait!" She turns. Judge Ellison approaches, her robe swaying, her face still a mask, but her eyes alive with something. Respect, maybe, or a warning. Pam crosses her arms, casual but alert. "Judge?" Ellison stops, her voice low, just for them. "You're damn good." Pam shrugs lightly. "I've had practice." Ellison glances back at the courtroom, then leans in, her tone dropping further. "I wasn't here to watch. I was here to stop you." Pam's eyebrow lifts, a spark of intrigue flaring. "Stop me from what?" "From doing exactly what you did. Hayes wanted an example, someone to slap down, keep the system humming. You didn't just win, you broke the script." Pam processes that, the pieces clicking into place. She'd smelled it in the room, the weight, the tension. But hearing it from Ellison makes it real. "So what now?" Ellison's eyes narrow, a faint smile tugging at her lips. "Now? You've got a target on your back. Hayes doesn't forget, and neither does the machine you just kicked. Watch yourself." Pam nods, absorbing the warning like a soldier taking stock of the battlefield. She turns, pushing through the courthouse doors into the open air. The sun hits her face, sharp and unrelenting, the world outside alive with noise, cars, voices, life. She stands there a moment, letting it sink in. This wasn't just a win. It was a crack in the armor of something bigger, a system that doesn't like cracks. She'd walked in with a folder and walked out with a warning, a victory, and a fight that's far from over. Her heels click against the pavement as she heads down the steps, her mind racing. She'd flipped the game, taken a fine no one cared about, and made it a mirror for something uglier. Power isn't the bench, the robe, the gavel. It's the guts to stand up, the brains to know how, and the will to see it through. She'd reminded Hayes, Rivera, the whole damn room that the law isn't a club. To swing, it's a shield, a blade, a line in the sand, and she'd drawn it deep. But Ellison's words linger, eyes watching, a target painted. Pam's no stranger to fights, but this feels different, bigger, like she's stepped onto a stage she didn't mean to claim. She keeps walking, the city sprawling around her, a grin tugging at her lips. Let them watch. Let them come. She's ready. This isn't just Pam Bondi's story. It's a wake-up call. Power doesn't sit behind a bench or wear a uniform. It lives in knowing the rules, breaking the script, and standing tall when the room wants you to kneel. We all face fines in life, rules, judgments, limits handed down like their gospel. But like Pam, we can fight back. Dig into the law, find the cracks, push hard. Because real strength isn't taking what's given. It's tearing it apart and building something better. That's the lesson here. Raw and real. Know your ground, wield your voice, and never let them think they've won.